WISC TV now presents For the Record. The year of transformation is about to get underway, and you can be a Dane Changer. We kick off United Way of Dane County's 2018 Seasons of Caring next on For the Record. Thanks for joining us. I'm Neil Heinen. United Way of Dane County is always looking for ways to make its work more effective and to use donor dollars and volunteer hours to make a difference in the lives of Dane County children and families, seniors, and more. But this year seems especially important as United Way wraps up 3 years of strategic change that began with a year of discovery, followed by last year's year of connection, and culminating this year with a year of transformation. We'll talk about what's new at United Way, about this week's community kickoff events, and about the 2018 annual campaign as I welcome to For the Record United Way of Dane County President and CEO Renee Moe and 2018 United Way Campaign Chair, First Business Bank President and CEO Corey Chambas. Thanks, you two.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for having us.
So, the easy question is what's new, but that would take the whole half hour. Give us the highlights, Renee. What do we need to know about
There's
the
so
2018
much
Seasons of Caring?
There's so much new going on, and it's really because the community has asked United Way to change and evolve to better meet the needs of the community. And so we've really been listening to figure out how do we help get more families stable, taking the great work across the agenda for change and connecting all of those successful programs to help more families get stable. And in the campaign, we're looking at innovating to help more people engage in giving and advocating and volunteering in new and more modern ways.
Would you just describe the key priorities under the agenda for change, Renee?
So we know education, financial stability, and health are the building blocks of a stable life. So we focus on early childhood and parenting. We focus on getting kids ready for graduation and life beyond through literacy, math, and really having self-confidence and resiliency skills. In our income area, we look at housing stability, particularly for families who are homeless, as well as connections into jobs, family-sustaining wages, also helping people with reentry. And then in our health portfolio, we want to make sure that everybody has access to physical, dental, and behavioral health, as well as helping our seniors and our people and helping seniors and people with disabilities have access to independence and support.
I mean, it seems like a lot, but it's really 5 key areas that you are putting the bulk of your attention and resources
Absolutely.
into. And how are you doing that?
So right now we've had great success in terms of mobilizing nonprofits, higher education, government, and business to really be able to understand how are we trying to move the needle? What is the current state in graduation rates or homelessness? And what's our articulated goal to help create success, articulating specific strategies, and then making sure that the right people are at the table to be able to drive things forward. So housing, for example, we have all the nonprofit players who are working in stability, Road Home, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, and others, and really trying to identify how do we help families get from crisis to stability, and looking at not only understanding housing as a platform for stability, but really understanding we need to know what are the root causes of instability and how do we build goals and plans together to help people understand childcare, parenting, all those things I mentioned that get people on a better path to be independent.
Yeah. Corey, we're going to talk about the campaign and your role in that in a bit, but you've been connected to United Way for a long time. And just as a member of the business community, talk about the business community's perspective on 2018, on the year of transformation.
Yeah, I think the business community is more engaged than ever with United Way for a couple different reasons. One, it's seeing the results of the things that Renee has talked about. Secondarily, I think the business community has engaged more in that employees and businesses care much more than they ever have about the place that they work being involved in the community. That's a big deal, particularly to younger millennial type folks that are joining organizations. They want to know that the business that they're joining, the company they work for, is doing more than just running their business to run their business, that they have an impact in the community. That means things to people. So the ability for those folks to engage in United Way affinity groups like Link for the group for the folks under 30, Rosenberries for the folks under 40, those kinds of things are really meaningful to the businesses to help those people feel engaged in the business via the engagement with United Way.
I mean, I certainly don't have a national perspective of all of the United Ways, but I do, travel enough that I have a sense that the business community in Madison has a unique relationship to United Way, a unique role in United Way. There's a bit of an ownership there that I don't think I see in other communities. That is just sort of part of the foundation, I think, of our civic life here.
Yeah, very much so. I think it's the exception to not be engaged with United Way if you're part of this business community in Madison.
Yeah.
Well, remember, business started United Way.
Sure.
It was really the corporate community and philanthropic community that said, hey, we want to make sure that our dollars are being pulled together to create greater impact than we can alone, and we want to make sure that somebody's looking at the big picture and measuring results. And that's why that history has become so robust and has been rich for so many years.
How did you do with discovery and connection, and kind of what's the significance of the transformational part of the campaign?
It's been wonderful, and it's been a community-wide effort. And I think sometimes people think of United Way, as a nonprofit I'm supporting, when really United Way is how the community engages to affect change. So when we were taking a step back with discovery, we wanted to look at what's the data in Dane County in terms of what I was mentioning, current state and future state. What's really going on? What do people need from United Way in terms of support to help mobilize the caring power to do more good? And also, how do people know and understand what United Way is? We recognize that a lot of people don't really understand United Way because we're quite complex. Sure. And so to understand that really we're a platform for how the community can get engaged to solve problems was really important. In the year of connection, we wanted to make sure people understood the good we're trying to create in the community and how they can get engaged. I would think that in the past people felt like, well, you're doing some volunteerism, you're doing a lot of work in early childhood, you're doing work with housing, but didn't really get the full complement of we're trying to stabilize families, and how we help the community do that is through giving and advocacy and volunteering. So our many volunteers were deployed to go into the community to really listen, to talk in community centers, nonprofits, to hear new research, innovative practices, and to figure out how can we be entrepreneurial to disrupt how United Way has traditionally done our work to be even more effective going forward. And this year, it's all about transformation and execution. We spent those first 2 years designing our strategic plan, and now we are really engaging in that work to take it from concept to reality.
Are we ready for transformation?
We're ready. We're so ready for transformation.
It seems to me that this message, Corey, would be very valuable to you going out into the community, that the interrelationship between all of this work, again, as Renee said, that in a lot of people's minds may be more separate than you both see it, would encourage some confidence in contributing.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things United Way has always done is measured results, and the business community cares about that. Right. They care about results. They want to invest. They don't want to just give. They want to invest in things that are working, and United Way is able to demonstrate that. But with some of the new initiatives and the new approaches that United Way is taking, I think it's a situation where the business community can see that there's even more impact at the holistic type approach that United Way is taking to problems.
We come back, I want to talk about Seasons of Caring, and we're going to invite people to be a Dane Changer. And we'll do that right after this.
For the Record, sponsored by MG&E, your community energy company.
Service and savings. It's goodness.
Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint.
I'm Phil, saving you big-time money on bratwurst.
2.5-pound boxes of Sheboygan brats, just $4.99 each.
Wow, what a fantastic deal. And these are made with real beer.
Brats for $4.99 a box.
Wow, hit a grand slam with Sheboygan brats. Hot, hot, hot.
Better products, better prices, better service, because we're employee-owned.
It's Goodman's.
Your new Don Miller Subaru Outback, built to take you to a place you've never been. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, choose this 2018 Outback 2.5i Premium, model JDD 11, symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus safety, plus 32 EPA MPG highway. Also, full power accessories, Bluetooth, and much more. Lease 39 months from $249 per month, plus tax, or choose financing as low as 0%. Don Miller Subaru, west on Odana, or the brand new expanded East Side store on High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
Congratulations to Marcia Michelon and Jacob Mills, the ringleaders of Wild Rumpus Circus and Mazomania.
That's all we want people to try to do here at camp is just try. You might surprise yourself.
I couldn't imagine doing anything else, for one thing. I mean, we feel just so lucky that we get to work with kids in this way.
If you know a teacher who deserves to be recognized as a top-notch teacher, send us a letter, an email, or nominate a teacher at channel3000.com.
Sponsored by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries and by Concordia University.
Go
big. Get everything you need for the school year at Shopko, your back-to-school headquarters. Get 50% off backpacks, 50% off family denim, and 70-count ruled notebooks, only 19 cents each. Shopko, proud to call Green Bay and the Fox Valley home.
The Lynx device stops reflux by using magnets to strengthen the muscle at the end of the esophagus, and this prevents acid from flowing from the stomach back into the esophagus.
Stoughton Hospital. Trusted care close to home.
I'm back with Renee Moe, President and CEO of United Way of Dane County, and Corey Chambas, who is the President and CEO of First Business Financial Services and is serving as the 2018 campaign chair for United Way of Dane County. So just to kind of give a little more meat to this whole conversation, the changes that we've seen in United Way's work, the linkages that we've seen, and how that's sort of subtly changed the agenda for change is something you're going to be talking about more about this year.
Yeah, the way I like to think about it is nothing's changed in the pillars of the agenda for change, but rather than those items operating just in a silo, the collaboration between those pieces, whether it's health, income, education, those need to work together. As United Way does its work, and particularly if you think about homelessness, family homelessness, to approach that, it's not just one of those things. You've got a family, there's education needs, there's food needs, there's income needs, there's housing needs. So the ability to work on all those different pieces in a holistic way, I think is where the research has shown there's a greater impact. Consequently, the way United Way is going to look to fund initiatives going forward is to fund collaborative efforts between different entities, different not-for-profits, but then also between different not-for-profits and governmental type funding that may come into play as well.
Yeah. And that's woven its way into your messaging for this year, Renee.
And it started with a Strong Roots mobilization plan, trying to figure out how do we create more economic stability for young children. And we had donors and agency partners and families who said, look, we understand that where you're focusing, you're getting results. You're getting more babies ready for kindergarten. You're actually seeing a decline in homeless families. And this is all collective work, by the way, with many different partners. We're seeing these measurable results, but what are we actually doing to solve those problems, to help make sure we're breaking those cycles of poverty? And so that's really where the AHA came in together. Now that we've got wonderful, robust collaborations across housing, across employment, across early childhood, we can now bridge that together, because we know if a baby gets helped over here and a dad gets help with a job over here, and you have a youth who's being supported over here, but the housing is unstable, you need to put those things together to move a whole family from crisis to stability. And obviously how parents are doing and how their health is doing impacts children directly, and so we want to make sure we're focusing, as Corey said, on the whole family in a holistic way to be able to really break those cycles and help get to self-sufficiency and independence.
And I know you're just preparing now to put a lot of energy and resources into that work, but have you seen any results, even up to this point, Renee, of that kind of a strategy?
Absolutely. So great partnership with the county and a number of other early childhood agencies has been on the north side, in the North Side Early Childhood Zone, and trying to build together on the pilots that have happened in other communities to help make sure that we're understanding that whole systemic change. And Housing First is another example. We've had families, and we know that to really stabilize families, we used to think about helping people address issues in shelter, and realize that when we can get people stably housed, they can be much more successful to then deal with the other challenges and root causes. So that's really not just because of the housing stability, it's because of the case management. What does it take to understand what were the levers that tipped somebody into crisis or stability, and how do we map together goals, accountabilities, and timelines to help provide support, and also say, you got this, you can do it, and we believe in your stability and your great parenting and having a good job and helping your life improve.
I mean, as you know, there's still such great value in hands-on stuff, right? People getting involved, getting out there and doing the stuff. Talk about Seasons of Caring this year.
So this year we have hundreds of folks coming out to the Mallard Stadium on August 21st.
Okay, that's the kickoff.
That's the kickoff, and we'll have habitat builds, so actually framing up 2 houses across the season Seasons of Caring week, but certainly on that day that we're launching, we'll have folks labeling cans of food. We'll have a lot of other projects, very family-friendly projects as well. And what we're trying to do is help people not only have that great experience to see and touch and feel a housing frame or food that's going to get on the table very quickly, but also to step back and say, okay, why do people need housing and food in our community? What can we do to actually solve some of these issues and get people inspired to think more about how can I help, and also be able to activate, to give or advocate or volunteer to help strengthen our community.
People should go online. They'll find ways that they can pick things they want to get involved with. There's lots of time that they can do that, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they can get involved in all that
So
stuff.
if you go on our website and look up Seasons of Caring, there are online signups. We're all across Dane County, so there are different projects in Sun Prairie and Middleton and other places all across Dane County. So go to the website, sign up. We'd love to see you at the Mallard Stadium as well.
Something new, Dane Changers. Corey, talk about Dane Changers.
Yeah, Dane Changers is really interesting, Neil. It's a transformation in the way we try to engage with folks. The typical way in the campaign to engage is through a workplace campaign and rally. There's a rally, you talk about it, and that's the crux of the campaign. Well, the workforce is changing. We've got remote employees, we have a lot of younger employees coming into the workplace, and the work environment's not the same corporate kind of environment that it used to be. So as a way to draw those folks in to understand what United Way does, we've created, with the help of Acme Nerd Games here in Madison, a game. And it's a little bit like a Sim City, if people are familiar with that, where you go through and you make choices and it affects the outcome. So you're engaging with people in the community, and as you meet them, you make choices on how to help those folks. And it helps give that understanding that Renee was alluding to, that we're trying to get at when people are labeling canned food, of thinking not just about the food, but why are people hungry here?
Right.
And realizing that, yeah, you can help somebody with food, and that's a good thing, but if you can help them get out of the situation that creates the need to have food, that's a better thing. So the game takes you through scenarios like that. You make choices, and you learn more about how to help the community.
I wasn't reading quite fast enough. Are all the examples specific to Dane County? I mean, will people recognize them here?
Yeah, they will. They're specific to Dane County, 10 different areas in Dane County. So if you're from Stoughton, you can play in Stoughton. If you're playing in Madison, you'll see things on State Street that you'll recognize, landmarks that you'll know. So it's very personalized, and all the data and the inputs are actual United Way data for what's happening in the community and the effects that these things have.
That launches on the 21st as well, is that right?
That's right.
And so this is going to be very useful to people who want to know more about Dane County, who want to see how it works. Will it be useful to Dane County? Are you going to be able to collect data from these results?
Absolutely, yes. So we'll be able to see where people are interested, which helps inform everything that we do.
No names or
no
any
names,
of that kind
no
of
private information. But we'll be able to see what choices is the community making, and we're really hoping for the awareness that helping with that immediate need versus driving that systemic level change that addresses root cause barriers, that addresses opportunities to do things better, and to see if there's an evolution in learning, and that can inform how we do our work going forward, how we communicate out to the community as well. So it should be very helpful.
And there is, of course, a campaign.
There is.
Why don't we talk about that when we come back on For the Record right after this.
This is an exciting time in the energy industry.
The world is changing, and we want to work toward common goals.
Toward a cleaner energy future, driven by innovation, powered by working together.
By working with customers, we provide customers what they want.
MG&E is your community energy company for the future, powering our community, sharing your values, partnering to meet your needs. Visit Energy2030together.com to create a more sustainable future together.
Start the school year off right with the back-to-school sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, when you buy any size Aspen bed-in-a-box model, you'll get a free space base and the shipping is free. Or how about two of our best sellers at their lowest prices ever? The Queen Size Summit is just $179.99, and the Queen Size Doctor's Choice Plush is now just $439.99. Come in and save on a great night's sleep at the back-to-school sale at Denver Mattress.
Denali, a badge of honor for the relentless, who never tire of striving for the best. This is your invitation to upgrade. The GMC Denali Invitation, going on now. Visit your GMC dealer today. Get over $7,800 below MSRP on this specially equipped 2018 Sierra 1500 Denali.
For an attractive offer, visit these GMC dealers today.
A teacher viewed and shared pornographic material at school. Tony Evers knew about it. The same teacher made sexual remarks about the bodies of middle school girls. Evers knew that too. Yet, despite calls from parents and school officials, Tony Evers sided with the union and refused to revoke the teacher's license. As superintendent of public instruction, Tony Evers is supposed to keep our children safe, but he didn't.
It's the kickoff for United Way of Dane County's Seasons of Caring and the 2018 campaign. I'm with Renee Moe, CEO of United Way, and Corey Chambas, who's heading up the campaign this year, President and CEO of First Business Financial Services. So it's funny. I mean, I've watched this kind of change a little bit over the years as the world has changed. Really, you know, workplaces have changed and giving habits have changed, and yet we don't want to underemphasize the value of people continuing to put financial resources into United Way. So talk about the campaign.
Absolutely.
Well, we're really excited about this year's campaign. We've done a lot of CEO visits already, and the loan execs have just started. They're the folks who are coming in to help with a lot of the work that gets done. The CEO visits that we've done were generally optimistic. People are doing well. The economy's doing well, as you know. A couple sectors not so much, but in general, it's very good.
And this is always the first step. The corporate gifts, some sense of corporate gifts comes first.
Yes, yeah, and that's the way we try to inform our goal setting, is to talk to some of the major institutions in the community, see how they're feeling, seeing what they think they can do, what their employees will do, also what they'll commit to doing from the corporate giving side, and people are optimistic. We're feeling good.
Yeah, and then the campaign kicks off, and what changes have you seen in how people think about giving, even physically, how they do their giving? Has that affected your thinking?
Yeah, it has, and workplaces have changed quite a bit over the years. People don't necessarily come in and work at the headquarter office like they used to. People don't work at the same company for 10, 20, 30, 40 years like they used to. People move around a bit. So that all affects the campaign, and it makes it a little tougher because you have to re-recruit folks in. That's where the engagement aspect is really important, the Dane Changers kind of thing. Getting people to really understand the impact of the work so that they're engaged and committed on a personal level, not just our company does this so I'm going to do it, but I personally believe in this, understand it, and that's why I'm going to do it.
It's funny to think of so many of our co-working spaces in Madison where you walk in and there are 20, 30, 40 people. They're sitting around communal tables. They've got, you know, little small nooks and crannies they're working. Same kind of relationships that they have in more traditional businesses, but they don't have the same kind of campaign kind of stuff that other businesses
We've
have.
had some great successes, though, meeting with technologists and new businesses. And, you know, the thing about United Way is everybody cares about the health and strength of our community, and people want to do good. And so we can really help meet people in different ways to be able to help them do more good. And I think that one of the ahas in terms of our Year of Connection was putting together many design teams who went through a task force for transformation. How do we help make how people engage more relevant, more current, and doing that through technology, through volunteerism, and really helping people understand, do I have enough information to want to care? And if I care, do I want to act? And if I act, is it easy for me? And is it going to be in a way that actually gets something done that's measurable and makes a difference for the long term? And so it's really been very exciting to put that all together and to see all those changes come to fruition.
I was thinking about this the other day, the retirees who have been such a rich source of volunteerism for United Way. But the idea that all of a sudden you retire, you don't get your check anymore, so your contribution isn't taken out of your check. And we may need to remind retirees who are generous and want to contribute that there are other ways to do it.
Yeah, my analogy for that, Neil, is the hole in the bucket. Those retirees who go away, because as those people grow in their earning power through their careers, they're the biggest givers. And then suddenly one day they're gone because there is no payroll deduction because there is no payroll.
Right.
So we've approached that in a new way through subscription giving, which is either a debit to a checking account or a debit or just a charge to a credit card.
Yep.
So that's a new approach that's in the campaign this year, and we think that can help stem the tide of those folks who have been engaged for 30, 40 years with United Way. I don't really think they just intend to stop giving to United Way, but nobody's really asking them.
Right.
They just sort of are gone.
Right.
So I think it's a new approach, and that same subscription, what we're calling subscription giving instead of payroll deduction, I think it also plays into our ability to engage with the folks in the technology space because it's just a little different.
Sure.
People move around job to job a little bit more in that space, and then in a couple other sectors as well.
And it's still a balance, right? Assessing the community's capacity to give, but also being very clear about the need out there and really what it takes to meet that need.
True.
Is a number still helpful? I mean, do you put a number out there?
We do put a number out there.
Yeah, we do put a number out there, Neil. And this year, Neil, our goal is $18.85 million.
Okay.
Up 3% from last year.
Yeah.
We had some significant one-time gifts last year, which boosted what we actually received. So
beyond the goal, you exceeded the goal last year.
Exceeded the goal last year, and some of those one-time gifts, obviously by nature, were one-time. Maybe we can grab some more of those, and the community will embrace what we're doing and the work that we're doing. But it all comes back to engagement, understanding of the work that's being done and the effects that it has in the community.
And then just in the minute left, Renee, I think what you said was really important. That it's not just stemming the tide now, which I think a lot of people have seen that is really valuable. But it's getting at the underlying factors to prevent them from getting to the place.
Absolutely. And there's an inherent tension between giving donors exactly what they want and doing the best thing for the community. And we've got to figure out where do those things align. How do we get people to invest in the areas that will make the greatest change for the most people?
Right.
And that's what this is all about.
Have a good campaign.
Thank you
Have
so
great
much.
seasons of caring.
Thank you.
Thanks,
We're going to
Neil.
wrap up For the Record right after this.
It's the back to school sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, when you buy any size Aspen bed-in-a-box model, you'll get a free space base. And the shipping is free. Don't miss the back to school sale on now at Denver Mattress.
Volkswagen. During Volkswagen Smile and Drive Days, you can lease a value-packed 2019 Jetta S for just $179 a month.
Spectrum is redefining everything you thought you knew about internet, TV, and voice services to bring you the ultimate triple play. Introducing a true revolution in internet speed with game-changing new starting speeds of 200 megabits. That's double our previous speed and double the bandwidth for the fastest surfing, streaming, gaming, and more. Get Spectrum Internet starting at 200 megabits for $29.99 a month with no data caps and a free modem. Call 844-419-2999. Then catch all your favorites in stunning HD, plus thousands of titles free on demand with Spectrum TV for $29.99 a month. And get Spectrum Voice with unlimited calling to the U.S., Mexico, and more for $29.99 a month. Call 844-419-2999. Switch to Spectrum Internet TV and Voice for $29.99 a month each with no contracts. Call 844-419-2999.
It's the back to school sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, when you buy any size Aspen bed-in-a-box model, you'll get a free space base. And the shipping is free. Don't miss the back to school sale on now at Denver Mattress.
My thanks to Renee Moe and Corey Chambas, and to you for joining us. We'll see you next week on For the Record.